What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Jets franchise. Today we have week 1 of the 2026 season, and I left you guys with a task, and you guys answered fully. We are going to be rolling with Justin Fields as the quarterback of this team to start week 1. I tallied all the likes on my comments. I went through the comments themselves as well, and it was 19 for Fields and 13 for Bates. So we are taking the slow roll approach with Joey Bates, which I am not against, because like I said, I think Justin Fields actually played pretty well inside of the preseason. We'll see if that transcends into the regular season, but for now, that is what we are rolling with, is Justin Fields will continue to be the starting quarterback, and he has got a tough task for week 1. We are traveling to Buffalo to take on the Buffalo Bills, so it's going to be interesting. So before we get to that, though, we got some stuff to do. We got to take care of the scouting. We got to take a look at the draft class initially. We got to do the weekly strategy. We have some upgrades to do. It's going to be a good video, so let's get right into it. Right now for the National, it says quarterbacks, left tackle, and right edge are what the strengths are. So let's just take a quick peek at this class, get a little bit of an idea of what we're working with, and then we'll go from there. So right out of the gate, we have 2 top 5 quarterbacks, 2 round 1 quarterbacks, a round 1 to 2 quarterback in Blair Ziegler. Don't really think we're looking at quarterbacks, but it's something to keep in mind just in case some crazy stuff happens. Tyrone Battle, Corey McAdams, Zane Phelps, Caleb Rowe, and as I mentioned, Blair Ziegler are the guys that are in that round 1 area for this season. Heading over to the halfbacks, we have Orlando Pounds as the number 1 running back. He's a top 5 projection. You don't see too many of those for projections. You can find them in the talent, but for them to be listed that high in the projections makes me wonder if he might not be a very special player. 5'11", 230. We also have Philip Castile as a round 1 option. Then we have JP Reed, DeAndre Kramer, and then a couple of guys in those middle rounds 2 to 3 area. So again, not too sure we're going to be focusing a lot on the halfbacks. I will always keep an eye on things because I'd rather take a really good player we don't need than reach on a player that we may need and end up scoring a lesser player, right? We can make things work. So I always keep an eye on things, but it's not something I really want to focus on. As you know, we have a lot of guys. We just got Pat Hall. We have Pat Allen, we have Braylon Allen, and of course we have Breece Hall. Like, we have a really good running back unit. Wide receivers. This is something that could be on our radar depending on how some of these guys play out for us throughout the season. Obviously, I'm very excited about the guys that we brought on last year in Kayshon Boutte and the draft pick Arian Smith, and I'm excited for the rookies that we have this year. So this might not be something we're looking at, but it also could be, especially since we really don't have like a solidified big-bodied receiver. And you guys know, if you've watched me before with other franchises, I love having a big-bodied receiver, 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", somebody that can go up and get the ball. We really don't have that right now. So we very well could be in a position to take a wide receiver if the right one is there. So there are not as many first-round options as I would anticipate, but who knows? Maybe there's some better stuff later on in the draft. This is sort of reminding me of what last year's was like. Javier Beltran is the top guy. Justin Wynn as well, and then Devin Marshall. But Wynn and Marshall both, 6'1" and 5'10". Not that 6'1" is a bad height, but again, I'm trying to get a big-bodied guy. So like a guy like Beltran. But again, do we want to reach that high for a receiver? I don't know if that's really something that we need to do this early on right now with the guys we already have. Brett Wayne could be an option, rounds 2 to 3. He's 6'3". Trying to see if there's any like 6. Here we go. Sherrod Ely, rounds 3 to 4. Caleb Fowler, rounds 3 to 4. So there are some options here at wide receiver that we could look at to try to get Dexter Wall even later than that. I love the late draft picks, especially if we can find some good ones. Bryce Rushing. So there are options here. Hopefully one of these guys can pan out. We'll see if it fits in our scouting to get them all scouted, of course. And then at tight end, this was something that we were potentially going to hit on last year, but we just did not. We ended up, of course, bringing in a veteran tight end instead. And I don't know where we're going to go yet this year. It's going to be on Mason Taylor. Is he going to take that job, and is he going to run with it? Because right now, a guy like Cam Melvin seems pretty awesome. 6'6", 260. That is a big tight end. Round 1 talent, or projection, I should say. Josh Jaramillo, I think is how you'd say that. 6'4", Skylar Doyle, 6'4". Nathan Forbes, out of here. Sorry, you're 6'3". Phil White is 6'6", 6'5". So we have some options there as well. The line has a lot of left tackles. If I'm not mistaken, that was also one of the strengths, was tackle. Not really something we need right now. Again, we have 2 younger left and right tackles that we are trying to build. So unless we think one of these guys, like honestly, like a guy like Terrell Swan might be better at guard. I don't know what his archetypes are. I'm just looking at his build, 6'4", 308. Not the tallest guy, not the biggest guy. So sometimes those guys can play on the inside a little bit easier than they can on the outside. Interior, nothing in the interior for left guard. A couple of centers, which is not a bad option for us. And then we have one right guard that is considered a pretty good projection in Sheldon Lipton. Another one with Jeff Hayden. And then right tackles, there's nobody. So it's really just left tackles and a center or two. That's all that's for like the top end talent on the offensive line. Going over to the edge, this is where we tried to hit on last year. It did not pan out for us. There was not a lot of people available to us. Will that be a difference this year? Right now, not seeing it. First 2 guys, definitely 3-4 ends. This has to get updated by EA. Please. Tell me that there's somebody at EA that somehow finds my small ass channel and is watching this. Guys, an edge rusher is not 300 pounds. Okay? This is not where they should be. They should be in defensive tackle. Hopefully that gets fixed at some point. Jamar Dickerson option, but again, rounds 2 to 3. Jake Pritchett, 270. That's not a bad option. Doug Stroud. Hopefully, okay, right edge, we have a couple of guys. Eli Stein, Kentrell Peak, Eric Gabriel, depending on what his ratings are. 278 isn't the heaviest. Mateo Ray, Peter, okay, that guy's definitely a D tackle. That guy's a D tackle. Tremaine Clifford, a little bit shorter. So again, it might be not the best class for edge rushers, which is unfortunate. Decent defensive tackles, it looks like. A lot of depth like there was last year. As we know, we got a few of those guys for ourselves. Sam, we actually have some guys at Sam linebacker. Matt Orr, Javier Estrada, Darren Brackett. I feel like this might be a good year as well for potentially going after linebackers, because right now, outside of Sherwood, we really don't have any upside at the position, and even Sherwood is already on the other side of 25. So there needs to be a very big swing in the average age of our linebackers right now. So this might be something we really are focusing on this season. And then we also have a few good guys here on the will position. It looks like it drops off a cliff though, so there's only, what is that, 7 people? Yeah, 7 players eligible for projections to be drafted. But again, just like last year, I'm going to be searching through all of these different lists because we found so many good players in the undrafted pools that it's almost hard to judge a position based off of who's available for projections, because I think some of our best finds were from the undrafted last draft class. I don't know if that's a running thing or if that was just a lucky draft class that I got, but safe to say we can find them elsewhere. We don't need to have somebody in a certain round for us to be able to find somebody that is deserving of that round selection, if that makes sense, right? If we end up finding an outside linebacker or a Mike or something that is top 5 talent in the undrafted pool, what's stopping me from taking him in rounds 2 or rounds 3 or round 1 maybe? Well, probably not, because there's different players there, but you guys get what I'm trying to say. We're not locked in just because their projection is not here. We just need to know what their talent is. If their talent is there, then by all means, who cares where their projection is? Corners, I think we're pretty good at corner. I'm not going to trade away Sauce Gardner like the Jets did in real life. That's crazy talk. Again, Jets fans, I'm sorry, man. I don't know what you guys are doing over there. Just being honest with you. I understand the whole resetting thing, but like somebody made a really good point. I can't remember if it was on Twitter or if it was on a game or like one of the sports talk shows I was watching, but somebody was like, you traded away Sauce Gardner for 2 first-round picks, and you're hoping within those 2 first-round picks that you get a player that you hope that can be as good as Sauce Gardner. And with how young he still is, that's what just doesn't make sense to me. Now you don't have a cornerback, like a top-tier corner. You got rid of your top-tier defensive lineman. You pretty much told Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson that you guys better figure it out, or at least just hang back and wait for us to figure it out ourselves. And they still don't have an answer at quarterback. So it's a tough week right now to be a Jets fan. I feel for you guys. And I can understand some of the pain because I'm a Vikings fan, okay? We have different pains, but we have pains. But again, corners, I don't think we're going to be set at because I am not trading away Sauce Gardner, and I really like the guys we have. Asante Samuel, Brandon Stevens, Thomas, even the guy we drafted. What was his name? Thurman or something like that? I have to look. I can't believe I forgot his name, but we have some talent there, so I'm not too concerned there. I think safeties we are set at, unless I don't like what Hicks does, then we could be in the market for one. But so that is where we're at. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this list again, and I am going to figure out where I want to place my scouts, and then I will pick you guys up afterwards, and I'll show you guys what I came up with. All right, so I just finished putting together the scouting list, and this is what I came up with. Once again, very spread out and difficult to, you know, like in past Maddens, I would be able to identify one position that had an abundance of players in that region. Whereas this year, it seems like even in areas that, like, I'm going to show you an example, right? So I'll come back to this in a second and show you guys. But like, if you look at, let's say, edge, right? It looks like there's quite a few players here for the left edge position, right? But when you go to the individual regions, it gets shrunk down. 2 here, 4 here, 3 here, 5 here. And then within that, you have to sort of see what kind of players there are, right? So they did almost too good of a job of spreading them out this year, to the point where it's hard to pinpoint exact regions that I want to hit. So what I did was I decided to double up a little bit. So we doubled up on edge because there are a lot more than I anticipated that are within our range that we could look at, both on the higher end of the draft and within the middle rounds and even the later rounds. So Northeast and West are both going to be edge. There was a good amount of linebackers for the first round grades in the West, so I made that this expertise too. And then we'll get some D tackle stuff in the Northeast. National, we're just going to go wide receiver. Tight end in the Central because they have 4 or 5 guys there, including that top guy that I talked about initially. And then we're going to do linebackers in the Southeast because they have a lot of good of the like 3 or 4 of the first to second round graded guys at the SAM position. So that is sort of where we're going to be. And what I'm thinking is, depending on where some of the players fall in like the Mike category, I'm probably going to invest heavily within the private workouts and stuff in that area, unless I see something I really like out of the Southeast or the second expertise in the West to make sense for it. So that's really like my big thing with this year is I feel like we have at least a quarterback throughout this season and next season, unless both of them suck. I think we are set at running back, unless all of them suck, which would be pretty hard. There's 4 of them there. Wide receiver, I feel like we need a big body guy. That's one of the main things that I feel like we're missing for our quarterback. Tight end, because I'm not sure if Taylor is going to deliver in Madden. I know he's probably going to be great in real life, but Madden is a different sport. You know, it's well, not a different sport. It's a whole different animal is what I'm trying to say. And I feel like edge is something we're going to want before it's too late. Linebacker is something we're going to want before it's too late. I feel like those 2 positions are really where we need to key in on. The rest can be filled in, right? But we need to know what's available in these classes for those positions. So that's what we're going to aim with. And that's where we're going to start off with our regional scouting. I also loaded up the abilities to be fruitful for the scouting. So we have the Scouts Honor along with XP stuff for practice, including wide receiver / tight end practitioner. I'm giving these guys a chance to prove me wrong by getting them as much XP as possible. And then we're also doing the after school tutor, which we'll have to reset again next week. And then after that, just a couple of them for in-game stuff. But I really might get to a point where I have this completely loaded with development and drafting stuff, depending on the season. And I'm still considering whether or not I want to do a full video breaking these down. I'm still learning a little bit about some of them, but for the most part, I can tell which ones are the most beneficial when it comes to scouting anyway, and with development. But I might end up doing like a tier list on these eventually down the line. I decided we're going to go very heavy on the offensive side when it comes to developing players this season. Shaden Shepard has... Ooh, Shaden Shepard's X Factor, guys. They sometimes do this where they don't hide things properly. So like, while his thing is hidden in the player chart, It's not here, unless maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I unlocked it already because I played him a lot in preseason and we did the games during the training camp. So we know that Shaden Shepard is an X Factor. That is awesome. He was the best player we drafted, and he ends up being X Factor, which means this guy's ceiling is through the roof right now. So we're definitely going to take advantage of that. I'm tripling down on wide receiver. I want to find out if we have the guys here or not, right? So Arian Smith, Taj Bryant, and Kayshon Boutte. Even if these guys can all develop, we still need a big-bodied receiver, period. Joey Bates, for obvious reasons, and then Pat Allen, because he's one of the other really good players that we drafted. I wanted to do some of the defensive tackles, but let me tell you right now, guys, the way, I don't know if it's the sliders or what, I couldn't even get off of a block in the training drill for any of defensive tackle, edge rusher, nothing. Linebackers, it was a nightmare. I'm not doing them. It was one of the best ones to do last year for the front seven on defense. It's not anymore. I refuse to do it. So this is what we're going to roll with. And I don't know what we're going to do if, like, in the off week, I might just leave it the way it is because I really like Arian Smith. I might swap it out for Taj Bryant because I really like what we saw out of him in preseason. But we'll see where we get to, right? We'll see what is done. But this is the 4 or the 6 guys that I want to focus on the most to really build this offense out. So I'm going to go ahead and do the mini games for this, and then we will do the upgrades before we get to the season opener. Okay, we got quite a few. First one up, Kayshon Boutte. And we are going to do, I'm going to do physical for him. I want him to be a little bit more physical. So we get 2 awareness, break tackle, catch and traffic release, and spectacular catch. Next up is Brandon Thomas, who is out this week with an injury, PCL sprain. But that's not going to stop us from getting an upgrade for him. We will go with power rusher, and we're going to get block shedding +3 to finesse moves. So this is another same thing as last year. If you want your defensive tackle to get better at speed rushing or finesse moves, do not do speed rusher. Just do power moves because they get an absolutely insane amount of finesse moves even if you don't select it. We actually got more finesse moves than we did power moves, which is crazy. David Ujabu, who is trying to get himself a starting job with us, but not sure it's really going to work out. It says that I don't know if power rusher is really it, but whatever. We'll upgrade that. He's pretty good at speed rusher right now. And that gives him +3 to power moves. Vantrice Pitts is also getting one. And once again, we're going to go power rusher. So let's take a look and see if this is sort of like how it is with playmaker wide receiver. Power rusher is 71. Speed rusher is 66. I'm curious. Watch. Now he won't get anything for speed rushing. Yeah, now he only gets 1. But you notice how he got that instead of power moves. So they have it out of sync a little bit. So he went up 1 in both. Thurman Broyles is up next. That is the corner that we brought on. And I want to make sure that he is balanced. I think, yeah, his zone needs some serious work. So we are going to go zone for him and hope that he gets a good roll for that. +2, can't complain. Awareness and play rec, always important as well. And then last but not least is Taj Bryant, the preseason wonder. And he's already really good with playmaker, apparently. So we're just going to do it again. So I'm curious if it still does it. 66, 63, 58. 66, 63, 58. Let's see if he comes up anymore. He got a bunch of stuff. +3 release, +4 to short route running. 68, 64, 60. So he shot up on all of them. +2, I think. Well, deep threat was +1. Physical +2. Slot +2. So hell of an upgrade for Taj Bryant. And then here's the injury report. As I mentioned, Brandon Thomas is out this week with a PCL strain. Buffalo is without Keon Coleman and Christian Benford. So 2 starters out for the Bills. We are relatively healthy going into this game. And it looks like the Colts have signed one of the guards that I had on the practice squad. Okay, you bunch of punks. All right. So that is going to wrap up everything before the game. Let's go ahead and get into the game, and let's see how we perform. For those of you who are not aware, this is what I am running. I did not mention it yet in its own standalone video, but I am running my XP sliders similar to last year's. I'm not going to go into great detail. I'm just going to go down the list here. I made some slight changes, and I'm going to make adjustments as we go along throughout the season and see like what needs to come down, what needs to come up. But again, I'm just going to go right down the list here, so feel free to pause whenever you want to get the numbers that you're looking for. If you have a better set that you've found some really good success with, please let me know. But this, I'm just sort of using what I did in previous Madden. So that's what I'm at with XP sliders. And then for the auto subs, I am working with, right now, of pretty high sets. We are doing 90 in and 82 out for halfbacks, wide receivers. Fullbacks, tight ends, I didn't want to put as high. And then I did 85, 75 on the D-line and pretty much everybody on the back side here. I'm really looking for rotation in the running backs and wide receivers category, which is why those are so much higher. Again, I'll see where they go. If you have a better set, here we go. Somebody put a set out and I was testing them and I sort of liked what they did and I couldn't remember what the numbers were. I believe it was maybe 92 in, 90 out. If it was you and you left that message or the comment, let me know if you're watching this, because I'd appreciate it. Because I think I was liking the way that the balance was working. It worked actually pretty well. So there we go. All right, let me shut up. Let's get ourselves to the game and take on the Buffalo Bills. Alrighty, and here we go. We are starting on offense, and here comes Justin Fields. Let's see what he's got in the regular season. I was impressed. We got some more rain. Not as bad as the last game. Holy cow, that was rough to watch, man. And first play, we're going to go hand off to Breece Hall. Hall breaking a couple of tackles. He'll get 3 yards. So we will take that on the opening play. Anytime we can get a few yards, it's a good day. I have not made any adjustments to the sliders yet. I wanted to see regular season before I made adjustments. So as I was talking in last video about potentially moving, let me fix this here. As I was talking last video about potentially bringing down accuracy and bringing down run blocking and accuracy, I just want to see what it's like in regular season before I make that decision. Fields takes off immediately. He's got a wide open lane, and he finally slides down at the 19, a 45-yard run on 3rd and 2. And that is part of the game that Justin Fields brings to us that Joey Bates is not going to bring. That kind of athleticism. We know Bates can move a little bit, but as somebody mentioned, he does not move as much, and it did cause some more sacks, whereas Fields will get out of there. So 1st and 10, we're going to go hand off to Braylon Allen right up the gut. Breaks one, and he's got himself a gain of 10 down to the 9. A nice run. And Breece Hall now comes back in the pistol. He takes the handoff, and he is met right away. He will get a few yards out of it, but the Bills do a much better job that time of rallying and bringing him down. Alrighty. So we're going to stay in pistol here. 2nd and goal. Another hand. Oh my God, they read that perfectly. We lost 4 yards on that play. That's a pretty big loss. And now we're going back to this 2 running back set. Fields looking, and he lets it go to the end zone. It is Wilson with the catch of the touchdown. He lobbed it up, and Wilson just bodied out the corner and makes the catch, and we are going to score on the opening series of the season. All right, let's pray to God that this second half gives us something, because the first half was so bad. Bills starting off at the 26.5-yard line. 1st and 10, shotgun for Allen. Let's see. They're going to start with a run to Cook. And Cook breaks off of the 1 tackle. He's got a little bit of a crease. Broke a 2nd tackle, refusing to go down until he gets the 1st down and gets to the 36. Nice opening play for the second half. One of the most complete plays we've seen out of either team since the opening series of the game. Handoff again. And that time it goes for only 2. Shut down by actually Caden Hicks getting up in there to making the play.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
2nd and 8. Allen going to throw it. Gets rid of it quickly. It's caught, but there's a flag down. And it's holding again. There's been about 3 or 4 hold calls, 3 of them coming against the Bills. And it's Colby Crawford, who I believe is a rookie guard, on the call. Fans not happy. Now it's 2nd and 18. Allen goes down for the sack. 2nd one of the day. This one, it's Quinnen Williams. First sack was a half sack, I believe, between Will McDonald and Sauce Gardner. This one, however, it is all Quinnen Williams, making it 3rd and 26. And wow, what a stand from the defense to open up this first series. Let's hope that we don't give this up now that I sort of just jinxed it, which now I'm a little afraid of that we are. Oh, that was an illegal pass. Yeah, fumble. fumble. We might be able to, oh my God. That might have been the play we're looking for. Sauce Gardner on the way to the house, touchdown. But will they let us decline the penalty? Because we know it was an illegal forward pass. That would be huge. Defense getting a turnover and taking it back for a touchdown. I don't know why they're looking at 61. They didn't even call the illegal pass. It's holding. We're declining that all day, every day. Give us the touchdown. There it is. First defensive touchdown comes in the second half of the first game, and it's Sauce Gardner doing his thing. All right, we're back out here. Fields, 5 carries, 79 yards. It's the one thing we've been able to do on offense. And let's see what we can do here in the third quarter. Up 14-0. And we're at almost midfield because of the lack of play and the horrible offensive holding calls that the Bills keep getting called for. Gain of 4 on the play for Breece Hall, and it gets frustrating because none of this was happening throughout all my testing. I even did it in another file too. Like, I did this file and another file for these sliders, and this didn't happen. Now today, all of a sudden out of nowhere, like 8 hold calls on one team. And that's just not realistic. So, I don't know. It's a little weird to me. We get the first down off of a little quarterback sneak. But, yeah, it's a little frustrating.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Hand off to Hall, and he's trying to get outside, and he is brought down for no gain on the play. 42-yard line is where we are at, 2nd and 10. Noah Fant in motion. Fields throws it to Fant underneath. He bounces off a couple of tackles, and he will get 5 yards. Have not seen Fields trying to get the ball into the hands of our playmakers today. This has not really been a thing. I'd love to see it start happening. Booty in motion. Oh, he's going all the way around. Snap the ball, please. Thank you. Fields looking for Fant over the middle, throws it into a pretty congested area, and it's going to be another 4th down. I think we're going to take a field goal here, though. All right, so we did not take the field goal. We decided to punt it, which I sort of get with the crappy weather. So now it's 1st and 10. Buffalo still down by only 14. 4:20 to go in the third quarter. Handoff. Cook is annihilated by Jermaine Johnson. I don't know how that's not a loss, but okay. He must have fallen forward really well. This game has been abysmal to watch. Like, I feel bad even having this in the video, to be honest with you guys. Allen takes off, and he's able to get a couple of yards. 3rd and 5 after the rush. As you saw there, we have 3 third down conversions. The Bills have 1. If that gives you any indication about how bad this game has been. Hand off to Palmer, or pass to Palmer. He gets the catch and the first down, and Buffalo finally gets themselves another first down. It's been a while since we saw one of those. 2.5 to go in the third quarter. Allen looking, finding a receiver, and now all of a sudden Allen seeming like he's finding a rhythm. As we get later on in this game, as clutch quarterbacks have a tendency to do, let's see if we can respond accordingly. It's going to be a keeper. Allen on the read option, takes it right outside, and he gets another first. Alrighty here, handoff, Cook finds a crease up the middle. It's closed quickly. It's Hicks coming up to make the stop after 5. I don't like that we have our linebacker out there in coverage. Okay, it's his zone. Run anyway. Cook slips a little bit on the juke with Samuel, and he will end up getting a gain of 7. 3rd and 3. Another read option from Allen, and Allen taken off down to the 20. They'll mark him back at the 22, but it's going to be another first down for the Bills as they move down the field, sort of similar to how we did, where it's just running the ball, but we sort of did it in like one play. Allen under pressure, stiff arms the defender and throws it away. What a display by Josh Allen to get rid of that ball instead of taking the sack. And I mean, he still ends up having to throw it away, but it's a lot better than losing 10 yards as we now find ourselves in the fourth quarter, as I am routinely trying to skip the replays thing, but I guess the X button doesn't work anymore for those. So 2nd and 10. Start of the 11th, or start of the 4th. And it's a pitch on a little end around. It goes for a loss of 3. He ended up losing 3 yards. Not a good play whatsoever. Well, let's see what they got here. Allen looking for the pass, scanning the field. He decides to take off once again. He's wide open down inside the 10, and he finally brought down at
the 8. First and goal at the 8-yard line.
First and goal here. Empty set for Allen. He doesn't even try to pass it. These guys are just running. That's all they're doing. That's crazy. I don't like it. Second and goal. Allen finally throws it, but it's incomplete. Third and goal. They need something here. They need something. We send heat. But they're able to find a receiver, and it is caught. There's a flag. I think it's going to be roughing, though. I saw somebody diving down and may have hit him in the legs, and we might have just given them a fresh set of downs if it wasn't a touchdown. I don't know what they called on the field. It's another hold. Oh, my God. Dude. This is insane, dude. Third and goal from the 18 after another holding. Allen scanning. Doesn't throw it to his open receiver. He keeps it himself, and he gets it all the way to the end zone. Wow, we got some 1950s football getting played right here, boys. But Bills finally on the board. We're back on defense. Nothing done on our side of the ball for offense, so we punted it back. And here we go. Allen looking, completes it. Gain of 4 yards, sorry. Gain of 4 yards. So we had another offensive holding called on us after the Bills had like 47 of them called on them. Allen looking for a receiver, incompletes. 3rd and 6. I swear, guys, I feel like there was a weird update that nobody knows about because the defense is playing much different than it was a week ago. And now we got an interception. I mean, that was just good defense because of the pass rush, but, like, man, this is not good right now. 1st and 10, we get ourselves our second turnover of the day. It's Jaden Hicks with the interception. And we find ourselves with the ball and with a chance to put more points on the board to maybe put this one out of reach for the Bills. 6:21 to go. We're up by 7. The way this game has gone, a touchdown here could be destructive for the Bills. As we find Noah Fant, who breaks free, breaks off another one, and is finally pushed out at the 17. Another big play for the tight end. 5 catches, 55 yards. He has been one of the only players that Fields has gone to in this game outside of Breece Hall, who takes it right there, but it's another holding, and it's going to come back once again. Oh, this is fun. This is fun. All right, 1st and 20. Justin Fields going to take off. We don't need to pass it. Just run with it. And he will get 11 yards. This is... I honestly am already feeling bad about putting this out as a video. Share your comments down below if you think that I'm being too hard on this. But this is just pathetic to watch. This is very disheartening for me, to be honest with you guys. Don't like it. 1st and goal. I don't know what happened to the sliders in the last week, but something changed. This is weird. Tall up the middle, a gain of 2. He's shut down at the 1. Like, I don't even have the motivation right now. Like, I'm checked, man. I really am. I can't lie. I just... When I see things that are blatantly broken going on with the game, it really gets to me. Especially after I literally held off on recording this franchise for a couple of weeks because of how bad the sliders were. And then I finally thought I found a set that was worthwhile for me. And now that's broken too. I don't know. I really don't know. Braylon Allen up the middle, touchdown for us, and we take a 21-7 lead. All right, Buffalo back out. 3:08 to go. Does Josh Allen have something in him here to make up for the 2 possessions? James Cook up the middle. He'll get it for 5 yards. They're going hurry up here. They have to. They have a lot of space to cover and not a lot of time to do it. Play action. Allen lets it go wide open. Tight end. It's Knox. And he's off to the races. Touchdown, Buffalo. And just, they marked that at the 1? There's no way that wasn't a touchdown. Oh my gosh. I cannot believe that wasn't a... Did he really fall before the goal line? No way, dude. There's no way this is about to happen. Are we really about to do this goal line stand right now on 1st and goal from the literal 1-inch line? 3rd and goal. Allen, alone in the backfield. Yes, we are. No. Oh my God. Yeah, we threw it away. Wow. Well, they're going to go for it. They have to. 4th and goal from the 4. If they don't get this, I mean, this is game. There is no way. Okay, yeah, they got a touchdown. I figured that was going to happen. Eventually, they'll get in there. They're going to go for 2 because they need to. If they get the 2 here, which they do, it is now a 6-point game, which means a touchdown and extra point will be the deciding factor in this game. Justin Fields has ran the ball like crazy today. 9 carries, 107 yards. It's a big reason we have 2 touchdowns as an offense. 1:55 to go. We're looking to close it out. Handoff. Breece Hall stuffed at the line. He has had a horrible day running the ball. Play action. Fields looking. Fires a dot. It's Bryant with the catch and the first down. That should wrap the game up. I don't like that he got out of bounds, though. Little delay for Breece. Nothing there. Buffalo calls their second timeout.
He was taken down behind the line of scrimmage.
So we do need to convert one more time to close this game. Hand off to Hall. He breaks off of the first defender, but he will only get a few more. And now it's going to be 3rd and 7. No more timeouts for Buffalo. If we can get this first down, it's game. Fields takes a snap. He looks left side. It's completed. A dot to Arian Smith. And that is going to end the game. We will be victorious 21-15. Alrighty, so here's the box score of the game. 21-15 the final. We moved to 1-0 on the season. There's one thing I want to see, and that's penalties. Yeah, 70 penalty yards for the Bills. They were flagged so many times. Here are the stats from the game. Josh Allen, 66.3 passer rating, 16 of 26. Justin Fields was somehow 13 of 15, but only for 110 yards because it was primarily screens and dump downs. It was not a good game to watch. It was not. I'm not going to put blame on any player in this game for anything that happened. Justin Fields carried us in the run game. Josh Allen also carried the Bills in the run game. It appears that defense is now locked down ready, so we are going to have to roll back all the sliders that I'd had for the defense being good because they sucked previously. We'll see. Who knows? Maybe it was a fluke. I'll probably do some testing after this before I record the next episode. The best catcher, Dawson Knox, 2 for 72. For us, it was Noah Fant, 5 for 55. Outside of that, nobody had over 50 yards or 5 catches. It was a slow day at the office for the skill players, and that is for sure. Defensively, had a couple of sacks, 2 from Greg Russo, 1 from Quinnen Williams. It didn't even record the sack that happened. Okay, there was a sack by Quinnen Williams and... yeah, there was, or not Quincy Williams, sorry. It was Sauce Gardner and somebody else. I guess he doesn't get a sack, though. Okay, interesting. Interceptions. Jaden Hicks had that pick off the deflection. And then, of course, we had the forced fumble from Jaden Hicks, forced that fumble. So Hicks, the guy we moved to free safety, already paying off pretty well for us when it comes to how he has been playing. So I'm happy to see that. But overall, a rough game. I don't know, week 1... rain, some type of update that I wasn't aware of that completely changed how defense plays. I don't know which one it is yet, but all I know is this game was rough to watch, and I'm going to do my best to make sure that the next one is not this bad. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Before you leave, if you can hit that like button, subscribe if you have not already, turn on that bell notification, and I will see you guys next time.